kung fu.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Comic Gamer Movie Show. My name is Deshawn, and today I have another action classic for you. Coming in with 1998, another movie in 1998. Very funny that like literally the last classic I did was in 1998. Apparently 1998 was a good year because I'm here to review 1998's Rush Hour, starring the legendary Jackie Chan and hilarious Chris Tucker. This movie is one of the all-time greatest buddy cop movies ever made. You know, I'd put the original Rush Hour in particular, and even Rush Hour 2, right in the conversation with Bad Boys, Lethal Weapon. Any of those movies in the buddy comedy genre, I would put it right there with any of those movies, dude. Even Beverly Hills Cop. Beverly Hills Cop is technically not buddy cop, but it is buddy cop. It's weird. Anyways, you know, this movie is one of my favorite movies ever, really. I was a huge buddy cop guy, because like, some of you guys know this, some of you don't. The reason I even do action classics, like one of the heart reasons is because my late grandmother, who passed away 5 years ago, who raised me, was a huge action fan. She watched so many action movies, Blade, and all these buddy cop movies, and her favorite genre, the movies that she watched the most, were like Lethal Weapon, Bad Boys, and Rush Hour. She loved those movies. So I watched them so much, and Rush Hour is probably, along with Bad Boys, the original Bad Boys 1 and 2, Blade, I'm trying to think of some other movies. This is definitely one of the movies that I watched a ton of. It's another one of those movies that I owned on VHS tape and DVD and Blu-ray. It's another one of those movies to me. But I own all three of them, though, not just one of them. And this movie to me it's just a fun fucking time. The chemistry between Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker, it just oozes off the screen. And it makes a lot of sense because something that you'll notice with a lot of the best buddy cop movies, same thing happened here, is the two actors are genuinely friends. Like, they became really good friends on the set of this, to the point where Jackie Chan and like just got Chris Tucker out in Hong Kong just with them all the time. They legit became really good friends off of filming these movies together, and you can feel the chemistry oozing off the screen. Now, Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker at this point in their career in 1998 had both been in some things, although I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that Jackie Chan had already accomplished a lot, but he hadn't really broken out in America yet. At this point in Jackie Chan's career, the legend he is, the stuntman martial artist that he is. I mean, Jackie Chan basically pioneered so many like martial arts stunt work techniques, and the dude's just a certified psychopath. I mean, the stories of Jackie Chan is like the Evel Knievel of fucking martial artists, dude. Like, he takes whatever he was doing shit that Tom Cruise does today back in the day, but he was doing it even more dangerous. There's a legendary video out, and it was in Rumble in the Bronx, of him sliding down a pole and with lights on it, and he got electrocuted doing that. Like, the amount of injuries this man has gotten doing stunt work is insane, honestly. But I digress. At this point in time, Jackie had already did A Police Story. He had already did Rumble in the Bronx. He had already did Drunken Master. Like, he had already been in some movies that were, like, kind of hits, but, like, they weren't critical hits. They didn't blow up in the States. Like it was years before I saw Rumble in the Bronx or Police Story, and anyone who watches Jackie Chan movies will tell you, but Police Story is probably his best movie. Another action classic that'll probably be reviewed on here eventually. But yeah, so Jackie had already been in some stuff, but like, he really didn't have a movie that I don't think it's an exaggeration if some hardcore, you know, action people might disagree with me, but that Rush Hour is the movie that most Americans anyways, American audiences, like, or everyday American audiences, it's the movie that people think about when they think about Jackie Chan, is him playing Detective Lee and teaming up with Chris Tucker in Rush Hour. It was the movie that really got him in the wider audience's, in the wider audience's viewpoint. Because at this time with Chris Tucker had already been in a couple good things too. Chris Tucker was just in The Fifth Element. He was a small part in The Fifth Element, but he was just in The Fifth Element. He was in Money Talks, which is another kind of buddy movie with him and Charlie Sheen, who was also on the come up. But the big movie Chris Tucker was in, the movie that really popped him out and everyone, and it's probably still his most iconic role, is playing Smokey in Friday. His role as Smokey in Friday, Chris Tucker is, when he is on, he is on. Now, I will say his stick, and Chris Tucker's stick is just high energy. That's kind of always been kind of Chris Tucker's stick, is just being super high energy, being quick-witted, and just that's kind of in being the facial expressions. That's kind of been his stick. And it all worked in Friday. Now it would work in other movies too, but I don't think it ever worked any better than it did in Friday. His role as Smokey is probably, in my opinion, and I know this might be a bit of an exaggeration, it's one of the most iconic roles in my lifetime. I mean, it's something that, I don't know a black person in America who doesn't know Smokey and who hasn't seen Friday and knows it. That's kind of how iconic that role is for him. And coming off of that, he tried to veer off into things, like I said, Money Talk, Fifth Element. But Rush Hour, to me, is still probably his second best role outside of Smokey, him playing Carter. It allowed him to be next to a bona fide action star, so he didn't have to carry the burden of that. He got to just be funny Chris Tucker. The funny thing is how great, how unique the friendship / the partnership with Detective Lee and Carter is the movie plays with stereotypes. Now, some people might say some of the stereotypes they play with, it was a little, but it's so tongue-in-cheek about it, and it's playing with stereotypes just to show how ignorant it is to believe in certain stereotypes. Like the beginning of the movie, when they first meet, when Carter and Lee first meet, and Chris Tucker is going on and on about how can you speak any English? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? First of all, yeah, Chris Tucker was just full of quotes, dude. I mean, do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? He's just got a ton of them in this movie, dude. He's just on one. He really is. And Carter, and the story, now that I went on about, this interesting chemistry between them and how they play with stereotypes to use it as a comedic tool, is Carter, played by Chris Tucker, is an LAPD. Is it LAPD? Yeah, I thought I was saying NYPD. Is it NYPD or LAPD? It's one of the PDs. I think it's NY though. He's an NYPD detective working. He's working his beat. He's kind of loud, brash, over the top, arrogant, egotistical, self-centered. It's Chris Tucker if he was a cop. Chris Tucker as a cop. And, he thinks himself so big, but this embassy, this ambassador from China comes over, moves to America with his daughter, and his daughter is kidnapped and held for ransom, and he calls, and he has his best, a good friend of his who is also a super cop in Hong Kong, Detective Lee, played by Jackie Chan, has also been turns out he had been investigating the same people who kidnapped his friend's daughter. So he flies over to America, and he has to work with Detective Carter to find and save this little girl. So it's really a rescue thing. They have to save this little girl, find out who kidnapped her. And the cultural clash of Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker and Carter and Lee, that's the fun bit of just seeing Jackie Chan being this fish out of water, but also being this badass, because they both get to play straight man to each other in a way. Because Jackie Chan gets to play straight man to Chris Tucker's antics and whatever he says, whatever comedic thing he decides to do, and him just react to it, just like, what are you doing? And Chris Tucker gets to react to all the badass martial arts shit that Lee's doing, because it's like, whoa, what the fuck? I've never seen anyone fight like that before. And they bounce off of each other, and they get to be each other's straight man, which I think is a very unique thing. I've seen in a buddy cop movie where they get to be each other's straight man. They get to be reacting to each other's what each other bring to the table. It's one of the rare situations where both actors pull out the best in each other. Both actors play up the best aspects of what they bring to the table. It's like, I hate to make a sports reference, but it's like a quarterback who has got a cannon arm and is great at throwing the deep ball, and a receiver who is fast as hell and great at running a long route. It's like a match made in heaven. It's just what you do great matches up what I do great, and it just goes together. And those two, Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker, they just play off each other so fucking well. To the tune that I think Rush Hour 2 and 3 were good. Not as good as the first one, but man, like they just, like I said, they play off each other well. There's some great action bits. Jackie's bringing the action. Chris Tucker's bringing the comedy, and it just works on so many levels. I love Rush Hour. It's one of the more quotable movies you'll ever see. Who does that to the Beach Boys? And I still like, I watched this movie so many times that I can tell scenes by the dialogue. Fuck that. I can tell scenes by the action, by the sounds of the kicks. Not the kicks, the sounds of the kicks. I can tell exactly what scene that happened in. While I was rewatching the movie, I was like, oh my God, like I knew what was happening before I even looked at it. I digress. It's a fun time. Anyways, have you guys, almost forgot to give it. Rush Hour gets a 10 out of 10 for me. It's one of the best action movies of all time. It's one of the best action buddy cop movies of all time. It's the movie that really launched Jackie Chan into the minds of the bigger United States of America. And it was the movie that Chris Tucker can handle action. Never handle action that good outside of this franchise, but hey, whatever. Anyways, thank you guys for joining the Comic Game Movie Show again. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.